Okay, the fun way to learn Linux. It's only 5 minutes. I did learn a little bit of Linux once, but I forgot everything. So I hope I can refresh all of my memory within 5 minutes. Let's go.
Before we type a single command, understand this. Linux quietly runs the world. Most servers on the internet, Linux. Cloud infrastructure, Linux. Supercomputers, Linux. Android phones, Linux kernel underneath. When companies like Google...
Okay, that's actually a thing that I didn't know. I think you already told me that, but I always forget about it.
Amazon, Meta, and Microsoft deploy massive infrastructure. Linux is there. Silent, stable, powerful. And the crazy part, it's open source. You're not just allowed to use it, you're allowed to understand it. Now let's be honest. You try to install something. Permission denied. You try again. Permission denied. You search Stack Overflow. They say use sudo. You add sudo. It works. And suddenly you feel like you unlocked a cheat code. You don't know what sudo...
Literally, that was me when I was sitting in my lecture, in my bio programming lecture. Hi, thank you for the follow. Hi, that was literally me when I was sitting in my bio programming lecture, like bioinformatics. That's the word. I had like this one module that was it wasn't bioinformatics per se, but it was bioinformatics. Okay, it was bioinformatics, but not bioinformatics. So it didn't say bioinformatics as a lecture itself, but it was working with bioinformatics. Okay, get it, nice. So I had to learn a tiny bit of Linux there, and every time I just like added like, okay, so what do I do now? And then they were like, yeah, you just use sudo then, and I was like, okay, and then it worked, and I was like, whoa, I changed it. It makes colors now. Isn't this beautiful? That was me. What if no one knows to add sudo? That's a good question, Costanza.
Really does yet. But you're using it on everything now, even commands that don't need it. That's the Linux beginner phase. And then you realize Wi-Fi isn't working. You open settings, nothing. No adapter detected. You Google on your phone, Linux Wi-Fi not working. You copy 6 random commands from a forum, paste, reboot. Now Bluetooth is gone too. Welcome to Linux. But that feeling, that's curiosity. And curiosity is where real learning starts. Then comes networking. You try to set a static IP. Internet dies.
Oh, I know that. This violet one. I know that.
Show feet.
I know
Pseudo
that.
Show feet.
We're not showing feet. No. My feet are protected. Okay? My feet are protected. Okay? They're protected. They are protected. I can't show them. They are protected. I'm sorry. I don't know how encryption in Linux works, but they are encrypted, okay? They are. No feed for you. As they should, exactly. Ubuntu, yes, it's in Ubuntu. That's how where we learned a little bit. That's the one we used during our bioinformatics stuff. I bet you... And toggle. I don't have toggle shoes because I think my model parent, actually, they didn't draw feet. This model doesn't have drawn feet, so I can't even show you my feet. Well, always use protection while walking. Yes, always use protection.
You edit a config file, still dead. You restart networking service. Now even Google won't load. That error message has emotionally damaged generations. But here's the secret. This is where you actually learn. Memorizing Linux commands isn't about sitting down with flashcards like it's an exam. It happens naturally through repetition. The more you break things, fix things, search logs, move files, and configure services, the more commands like ls, cd, grep, chmod, and ssh become muscle memory.
I think I know that I work on decryption of the feed. I'm skilled with that. I had a course on university for that. I did use ls, cd, and grep, but I don't know what grep and ls was anymore. But that's okay. That's fine.
At first you Google everything.
By the way, that's how I work with rigging. I don't know. Learning by doing, at least in my opinion, learning by doing, it doesn't matter for what, but learning by doing is the thing I always strive on. I'm not good. I'm really, really not good at learning stuff just by heart. I can learn stuff by heart. For short-term memory, I can. But like for long-term memory, I can only learn by doing. For me, it sounds like magic spells. It does. List, change directory, yes. And global regular expression print. I mainly used CD a lot. I remember that. I remember that.
Then you start remembering patterns. Linux isn't about memorizing hundreds of commands. It's about understanding what you want to do and knowing which small set of tools can get you
Learning
there.
by doing.
Then you explore / the root, and Linux hits you with /bin /user, /bin /user /local, /bin. And you're like, why are there 3 bins? Linux doesn't simplify. Linux organizes. You learn /home, user files /etc, configuration /var, logs /bin, essential binaries /user, user applications. And suddenly the chaos becomes structure. You realize Linux treats almost everything as a file. Once you understand the file system, Linux stops feeling scary. It starts feeling elegant. Now don't go buy 12 courses. Start with Linux Journey. Linux Journey is perfect for beginners because...
Oh, is that the advertisement? Is that... Hi, Xav! Yes, learning by destroying is the best way to learn. So that is one of the reasons why I personally will not switch to Linux anytime soon, because I know that this is how I work. I know this is how I work the best. Just learning by doing, without courses, just Googling. But I know that my frustration tolerance is really, really small, and especially when it comes to stuff that is very important for what I do for work. So what I do for work is streaming. And if that doesn't work, my frustration tolerance is really, really low. So I think that's one of the reasons why I will not switch to Linux anytime soon, because you have to learn by doing. At least I have. And yeah. And Linux Reaction, I'm not here from the start. No, it's just a short one. Don't worry. Hi, Vanda. Linux was 100% learning by doing for me. Now I work with that stuff professionally. Let's go. There's a critical difference between sudo rm -r and sudo rm -r. / and just /. And what is the difference?
Because it doesn't assume you're already a genius. It starts from the absolute basics. What Linux is, how the terminal works, how files are structured, how permissions work, what processes are, and how networking fits into everything. The lessons are short, clean, and organized into sections like the command line, permissions, processes, and networking fundamentals. You're not just memorizing commands. You're understanding why they exist. It builds your foundation slowly, step by step, without overwhelming you. Once you're comfortable with the basics, move to Over the Wire, especially the Bandit War game. This is where learning turns into a game.
Learning in a game is gamified learning is very nice. I like gamified learning. That's one of the learning methods I work best with, actually. The point is the current directory. Yeah, I know, Fluffy, I know. There's a lot of distros now that try to be easy to use. I just did 2 to 3 thingies for my PC with the terminal that were a bit special. Yeah, it's more, the problem is more that VTubing stuff on Linux, it is possible. Like I said, VTubing on Linux is possible. So don't worry about that. It is possible, but it's a bit harder. Definitely, 100%. However, my main OC is Linux only for about 6 months now. I hope everything works all right. And ... is the previous directory. Oh my goodness, I remember. You're recalling a distant memory. You can even move up multiple by CD. Ooh, that makes it way more efficient.
Bandit doesn't give you long explanations. It gives you a challenge. Level 0 to level 1. Find the password. You SSH into a remote machine. You see files. You panic slightly. You start overthinking. Maybe it's encrypted. Maybe it's hidden. Maybe it requires advanced commands. You spend 20 to 30 minutes experimenting. Then you read the hint. The password is in a file called readme. Solution, cat readme. That's it. But that's how you build command line instinct.
Oh, I remember cat. I remember that command. I remember that one. I actually remember that one because I thought that was such a cute command because it's just like cat. I remember that. That was so funny because it was like, it's called cat. It's so adorable. I remember that one. For programming, the best learning platform, if you like learning like a game, then boot.dev is your way to go. Thank you. I will look into that. Cat, Runya, grab that. No! But how do you know cat to begin with? I think that was the hint in the I think that was a hint because that was a gamified version to learn Linux.
Then you have to install Linux in VirtualBox. Open terminal. You lean back like, yeah, I'm different. Meanwhile, your CPU fan sounds like a jet engine. Create
Exactly.
users. Break permissions.
Virtual engines, and your computer is gonna be a freaking plane. Hi, Conan.
Fix permissions. Host a small web server. Automate tasks with Bash. Then go to platforms like Try Hack Me and Hack the Box. Real labs, real scenarios. Skill comes from repetition, not from watching, from doing. You think contributing to
Absolutely.
open source means writing advanced kernel code? Reality? You fix a typo in documentation. Maintainer replies, "Thanks for the contribution." You feel like you joined the Avengers. But here's the truth. That's how it starts. Host your own server. Write small bash scripts. Automate backups. Build a home lab. Push projects to GitHub. Linux isn't about certificates. It's about proof. And open source is proof. At some point, you will break your system. You'll type something dangerous. You'll delete something important. Linux will not stop you. Linux respects responsibility. And that's why it makes you better. It doesn't babysit. It upgrades you. Linux isn't fun because
So
it's
always make backups. That's what I just learned from these past few minutes. Always make backups. No backups. No backups. Always backups, right? Right? That's what I just learned. I actually prefer batch over cat because it has more readable output. Honestly, I think I like the output a little bit more as well. Thanks, video is accurate. It feels very accurate, at least from what I've heard. Snapshots and backups. No backups, no mercy. No, and backups of backups. Yes, Psycho. Backups are in real life safety saves. Damn, I also make a lot of backups for my rigging stuff, because I'm like, okay, I have a backup, because if I try something new in my rigging file, I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna make a backup and try it in the new file, because otherwise I will frick something up and something will break. And always delete the French language packets. Oh no. But how should I make a backup if my back hurts? Get it unhurt. I have 72 terabytes just for backups are important. What is better than one backup? 2 backups.
It's easy. It's fun because it challenges you, it humbles you, then it levels you up. Start small, break things, fix them, play war games, explore the file system, configure networks, build projects. Linux doesn't reward memorization, it rewards curiosity. If this video made Linux feel less scary and more exciting, hit subscribe and like so more future engineers find it.
It absolutely does make it feel a little bit less scary. And absolutely understandable. Thank you so much for the video. Please leave a like, comment, subscribe on that video. It's right there, chat. I just posted it. Thank you so much. Leave a like, comment, subscribe on this video if you liked it. And thank you so much and bye-bye.
Outro song, outro song. This is an outro song. Outro song, outro song. This is an outro song.